So there are the kinds of people who can show up and do one thing consistently for a long period of time. They have this one routine, you give them this one task and they're just gonna execute on it. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome. They're doing their thing, they're balling out. Lydiana. Let's think of these people as farmers, right? When you farm, you have to tend to the crops, you have to do blah 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 blah. But farming is a very like it's a fairly mechanical and not robotic, that's not what I'd say, but it's fairly one-dimensional. There we go. It's a fairly one-dimensional thing. You just show up and you do the same thing over and over and over again for an extended period of time. And that's great, and you can get amazing results doing things like that. Unfortunately, if you're like me, which you probably are if you're watching this video, that kind of life would drive you fucking crazy. So today, I was on a call with my dog Jake, who's actually in that shot right there. That's who I'm talking to. It's my dog Jake. And we were talking and catching up, but basically, I was kind of just telling him about my journey with where I've been at. We were catching up. We hadn't really talked in a few months, honestly. It was super dope. We fucking talked for like 2 or 3 hours or some shit. But I was telling him about how my show, Road to Renaissance, that's my daily vlog. But when I started having the idea of Road to Renaissance in April of this year, I really, really, really wanted to make it, but there was just no way in hell I could. And it's because that I just didn't have the skills. I didn't have the practical skills in terms of YouTube editing, in terms of speaking, in terms of actually being able to deliver, in terms of actually being able to show up consistently. Back in April, I didn't have any reps being productive, but now I've posted daily for 101 days straight. In the past 6 months, I've posted YouTube videos very consistently, almost like damn near every day most of the time, if not a few times a week. And I haven't missed longer than 12 days in the past 7 months, almost 7 months. Started my daily uploads May 15th, and it's currently December 13th. So in the past 7 months, I've only missed uploads for 12 days. 12 days is the longest amount of time I've missed uploads. I've been so fucking consistent, so productive on my YouTube journey. I've written over 70 newsletters since June. And in the past 2 weeks, I've been writing them every single day. One of my newsletter subscribers asked me if I've been using AI to generate my emails because some of them bitches be long as fuck. And nah, them bitches just come out of me, bro. Like sometimes I'll literally just be there writing for like 2 hours in the morning. Like literally, like on my phone. I'm sitting here like, bro. I swear I'll literally just be like this. I swear, and then I'll be like, and then I'll get back to it, bro. I swear that's how it is, dog. And that's just because I started small and then I worked my way up. Now I can get into the 4 and 6 hour editing states, editing flow states, writing flow states. I can record 30-minute, hour long, 2 hour long videos. But that's because I started 15, 30 minutes a day consistently back in May. And I just kept doing that. And in June, I started really expanding. Towards the end of June, I started getting more into long form with like my calls with my dog Jake. When I was talking to Jake for like an hour every single day, that really expanded my ability to speak, my ability to articulate for a long period of time, to think off the top of my head. I started getting way more into long form content in July. In terms of my practical YouTube skills, I just wouldn't be able to make my Road to Renaissance show, and most of those episodes are 30 to 50 minutes. I currently have 5 episodes. One of them is 24 minutes. One of them is 34. I think I'll have a 37, a 39, and then a 53, I think. It's like those are long form videos, and most of those long form segments are just raw talking heads. But there's artsy edits, there's creativity in there, there's like a vlog and filmmaking aspect of it. And Road to Renaissance is about my theme. I mean, my lifestyle as a Renaissance man, as someone who has multiple interests, as someone who loves to paint, as someone who loves to lift and who wants to get more into those specifically. I've been lacking on those two specifically, on painting and lifting. But those are two things that I really want to cultivate more in myself. I love writing and video, and I pursue those heavily. I'm very into spirituality, into metaphysics, into mysticism, esotericism. I also love science as well. Um, I just I'm obsessed with having a holistic perspective. I wrote my newsletter yesterday about Leonardo da Vinci. Like I love the trope of the Renaissance man. That's why my show is called Road to Renaissance. That's why my Substack community, my newsletter is called Digital Renaissance Creators. That's why entire theme, I mean, my entire brand is themed around the Renaissance man, the Renaissance creator, the polymath, the generalist, the multi-creative, the multi-passionate. This person, right? The person who has multiple interests, who refuses to be put into a box. And if you're watching this video right now, that's you. And I get it. I'm you. I relate. But a year ago, I wasn't doing the things right now I wanted to do. Shit, in April, when I had the idea of Road to Renaissance, of documenting my life as a Renaissance man, I wasn't a Renaissance man because I didn't have the skills, because I didn't have the experience. I've been really on my personal development, self improvement, conscious spiritual journey. I've really been on it heavily for a year. And I've been on it for about a year and a half. And so, you know, only in about the last 6, 7 months have I made the most progress. And it makes sense, right? It took 6 months of really trudging through and like starting to gain momentum. And then 6 months of learning and like being heavier into it. And then 6 months of being even heavier and way deeper into my personal development, right? Into all of this, right? And over the last year and a half, all of the things that I've learned in science, in spirituality, in self improvement, in mindset, in metaphysics, in creativity, in productivity, in entrepreneurship, in psychology, in life in general. I mean, it's just all of these things have led me to this point where I genuinely love my life every single day. I'm genuinely so fucking productive. Like I go to sleep every fucking day like, wow, I worked so hard today and I'm gonna fucking get the fuck after just as hard tomorrow. Like let's fucking get this shit, baby. Like do you get that? Do you get that? Like I I don't think you understand how fucking amazing it feels to genuinely know that you're making progress on something that means everything to you every fucking day. YouTube and business means everything to me, bro. And the fact that I know I can show up for myself every day and make content. I can make videos. I can write newsletters. I can do these things. It's fucking crazy. It's sick. It's amazing. But I couldn't do this 8 months ago. I couldn't do this a year ago. I couldn't. And so if you feel like you're someone who really, really, really wants to get after it, but is just struggling, I've been there. And so I want to help you out. I want to give you a few action steps that you can take to start trying to organize your interests, figure out a path, and actually start making progress with just 15 minutes a day. That's all you need. You know, this is actually such a cool like part of my journey. When I started posting daily, like consistently, back in May, right on May 15th was the day I started. I think the third or fourth day, so like May 18th or 19th, I had my first video pop off that got like 800 views or something. And it was called 15 minutes a day is enough time. Because 15 minutes is genuinely enough time to make progress towards your goals. It's genuinely enough time to say that, oh wow, I actually showed up and checked the box for myself today. That felt good. Like that felt good. Recording a 10-minute talking head feels good. Writing for 10 minutes feels good. Doing a little 15-minute workout feels good. Doing a 10-minute meditation feels good. Going for a 15-minute walk feels amazing. Reading for 5 to 10 minutes feels amazing. Painting for 5 to 10 minutes feels amazing. Like, bro, it doesn't take an hour. It doesn't take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours. It doesn't take that. All you need is 15 minutes. That's all I'm asking for you. Like, that's it. That's it, bro. Are you going to keep consuming content? Are you going to keep only being a consumer? Are you going to keep having an out of balance consume to create ratio and keep hating your life because of it? Or are you just going to take action? Like you could keep just doing what you're doing. Like you could just keep doing that. Sure. but you just keep feeling the way you feel. And let me ask you something. Do you feel like the best version of yourself right now? Do you feel like you're making the most progress you could right now? Do you feel like you're living the most fulfilled life you could right now? Like, I'm gonna be honest, if you clicked on this video, the answer is probably no. I just realized I don't have my shades on. I'm gonna put these on. Fuck it. We're already 10 minutes into this bitch, but we'll just close it out with this because this is JC Dubs. You know what I mean? So here's what I want to introduce you to. This is, I have to refine this, but this is a system I'm calling the productive polymath protocol, and it's an ideology that we should spend about 80% of our time pursuing our main 1 to 3 goals. I'll explain that real quick: goals versus interests, and then we can actually have our other 20% of our time for interests. You know what I mean? So when it comes to having 1 to 3 goals, here's my perspective on this. So as someone who's tried to pursue art and business, or art and fitness, or um business and spirituality, or anything, a few things at once, I found that you can definitely make progress, like meaningful progress, in 2 to 3 areas at a time. But once you start getting more than that, it starts being like, it's very tough to make like genuine, meaningful progress. And so having 3 goals that's like, okay, these are the things that actually matter to me. I actually am committed to making progress in. I believe that's the way. But then even having one goal that is the main thing, that is like, yo, this thing is like, if I don't check this box during the day, this day is an L. So for me personally, my YouTube and my business, right? So like my YouTube videos and my newsletters, if I don't check those boxes every day, those days are L's. Like that's an L day for me. You know what I mean? Like I haven't written my newsletter yet today, and I'm definitely going to. But hypothetically, let's say I didn't. Like I'd go to bed feeling like, oh, you fucking suck, Jaden. You're a piece of shit. No, I'm playing, right? But I would feel that way because I know that I could have did it, right? And that was the most important goal to me. Now, I also have fitness goals and spirituality goals, right? In terms of cultivating a deeper connection with God, and in terms of enhancing my body, and things of that nature, right? Like a physical and a spiritual goal as well, right? But I'm gonna just keep it so real with you. Like prayer and lifting, right? Those are kind of like the 2 vehicles actions I was using as vehicles to cultivate my goals. Those two just aren't the priorities. Like those are just secondary goals. I'm gonna just keep it real. And so since those are secondary goals, if I don't hit those on a certain day, it's not like I'm not tripping about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to bed with like negative mental health and like attacking myself like mentally because I didn't check that box that day, because I didn't say a prayer or I didn't do a lift. That's not how it is for me. And so I have my primary goal of like business, financial freedom, making money online, cultivating my audience, building my personal brand, right? All that, improving my skills as a storyteller, which is like the actual skill I'm focusing on to achieve that goal or to make progress towards that goal. I have that goal. And if I don't check that box, I feel like shit. But if I don't check fitness or spirituality, it's like, okay, although I know I could have, made progress more in that day, it's not like it's like really negatively affecting my mental health. You know what I mean? And so I kind of want you to write out your interests, write out your creative interests, your entrepreneurial endeavors, your fitness interests, whatever the things are that you want to do, right? Or you're interested in, right? Your um the things you want to learn about, the things you want to study, your spirituality interests, your metaphysics interests, the philosophies, whatever, anything, right? Put these things down, write these things out. Anything that pops into mind, just write it down. Like grab your journal, hop on your phone, just write it out. And then I want you to figure out what is the thing that's calling you the most. It's like, yo, this thing is like, oh man, it's like, oh, I fucking gotta do this thing. You know what I mean? You know what that is. That thing, that's your main goal, okay? That is the thing that you should be spending the majority of your time doing. That is where a lot of your focus should be. Now, there's probably going to be a couple other things. Maybe there's like 2 or 3 that are like, ah, man, I don't even know, like, which one should be my main goal, right? Once you figure out which one is the main goal, that other 1 or 2 that, you were struggling to figure out, those will be your secondary goals, right? Or maybe you just had a main goal. Okay, this is a clear one. figure out another one or two secondary goals that you also want to make progress in. That you're just like, okay, these genuinely, like, these mean a lot to me. And then in terms of your three goals, you have those set. And then in terms of your interests, in my opinion, interests should really just be pursued intuitively and in the moment. If you get a creative hunch, a curiosity comes to you to explore, deep dive into some philosophy for like a month straight, all right, awesome, just do it. If you get a hunch to go down a rabbit hole for 2 minutes, and then you find something you don't like, you're like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's like just allow your interests to take you where they take you, because your interests aren't things that are actually tied to like your fulfillment and your quality of life. They're just things that are awesome, that expand your awareness, that allow you to, just kind of just take more of life in. As people with multiple interests, as people who are multi-passionate, multi-creatives, we kind of just enjoy things because they're cool, Like we just like cool shit and we just find new things cool. And so if we explore something for a couple weeks or a couple days or even a couple minutes and then it's not cool anymore, that's fine. You can just move on. Don't feel attached to something, right? Don't stay in this like one mindset like, oh, I have to focus on that. Fuck that, bro. Fuck those people that tell us we have to focus on one thing. They're not us, gang. I was talking to my dog Jake here. I'll leave you guys out with this. So here's the action step prompt, and then I'll tell you guys this story about me and Jake. Um, I want you to figure out your main goal, your primary goals, right? Your secondary goals. So you have your primary goal and then your 1 to 2 secondary goals. I just want you to commit 15 minutes a day to your main goal, and then 15 minutes a day to your 1 to 2 secondary goals. That's it. All I'm asking for is 30 to 45 minutes of your time. Well, technically, you just gave me 16 minutes. So you just gave me 16 minutes of your time, right? For me. It was for you to help to help you, right? But you just gave it to me. Now I want you to give 30, 45 minutes to yourself, right? Is that a deal? I feel like that's a solid deal, you know? So I want you to do that for yourself. Figure out your primary, your secondary goals, and then start making progress in them. And the thing is, guys, it's okay if you start making progress into something and 3 days into it, you're like, ooh, actually, I don't think this is it. It's like, yo, trust your intuition, all right? Always trust your intuition. So this last thing in terms of when I was talking to Jake, there are two types of people. Obviously, it's not this black and white. Nothing is this binary, right? Everything's on a continuum. But I want you to just think about this, right? Just entertain me for a second. So there are the kinds of people who can show up and do one thing consistently for a long period of time. They have this one routine, you give them this one task and they're just gonna execute on it. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome. They're doing their thing, they're balling out. Lydiana. Let's think of these people as farmers, right? When you farm, you have to tend to the crops, you have to do blah 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 blah. But farming is a very like it's a fairly mechanical and not robotic, that's not what I'd say, but it's fairly one-dimensional. There we go. It's a fairly one-dimensional thing. You just show up and you do the same thing over and over and over again for an extended period of time. And that's great. And you can get amazing results doing things like that. Unfortunately, if you're like me, which you probably are if you're watching this video, that kind of life would drive you fucking crazy. I don't know about you guys, but when I was talking to my dog Jake today, I was like, yo, Jake, I've learned this about myself. I hate having the same day over and over and over again. I hate living the same time, like the same day. I hate not having spontaneity or having freedom or having flexibility. I don't like it. It just feels too restricting. It doesn't feel flowing. It doesn't feel like I can actually be myself. It feels limited. And when I feel limited, I don't feel like I can be my full abundant self, my authentic self, my fully expressive self. And so there are people who can show up and do, one thing for, extended period of time over and over and over again. And those are the farmers. But then there are other people like us who go out into the forest and maybe on a certain day we're hunting sheep. Maybe on a certain day we're hunting deer. Maybe on a certain day we're hunting lions. Maybe on a certain day we have 2 people hunt. Maybe there's 5 people. Maybe there's 7. Maybe the rival tribe popped out one time. Maybe one time you're not feeling too good. Maybe one time you were sleeping with, with somebody you shouldn't have been, and so, you lost your attention streak, and so when you're out in the forest, you're not as sharp. And so when a predator comes at you, you're lacking. I don't know, I'm just bullshitting. Anyways, you're a hunter. And the thing is that when you're living as a hunter, no 2 days are ever the same. The conditions of the forest, the weather conditions, the conditions of life, the conditions of the environment, the conditions of your tribe, of your people, of your fellow people, of the prey that you're trying to hunt, of all these different things. There are a million different factors. No 2 days can ever look the same. And that's the thrill of it. The thrill of the hunt, the spontaneity, the fact that you have to be, the fact that you have to do multiple things at once, the fact that you have to be on awareness at all times, the fact that you have to constantly be aware, the fact that you have to, be multi alert. That is the wave, bro. So I'm gonna end this video because it's been 20 minutes and I don't want this video to be too long, but I think it's been very actionable and helpful. 15 minutes a day is enough time. If you're a hunter, I get it. Don't try to be a farmer if you're a hunter. Because as hunters, we're not supposed to farm. We're supposed to hunt. So let's just fucking hunt, baby. You know what I mean? If you guys like videos like this and you'd like actionable insights in your email every single day, I also drop daily emails, so you can join my Substack. It's my free newsletter where you also get access to my audio podcast and you can join our exclusive group chat. So if that interests you, that's the second link in the description. It's completely for free. Do it today. Be better for it tomorrow. Stay blessed. Stay loving. Catch you on our next vid. Thumbs up.